Well, my LighterLesson equipment UL pillow that I got this summer has a slow leak in it.
Fortunately, it wasn't my air pad, because there's nothing worse than waking up on the hard ground at 2 a.m. when your gear quits on you. Welcome to part 3 of the 10 Essentials, Repair Kit and First Aid. This isn't the fun gear, but it's the gear that ensures you actually get home to have fun another day. I'm Kristen with Unstoppable Outside. Check out and subscribe to my channel to watch part 1, where I make fire with a ferro rod and test out sleeping in my emergency bivvy and insulation layers. Part 2, where I discuss nutrition, hydration, and sun protection out on the Muir snowfield at Mount Rainier National Park. And next week, I'll be covering off on what I use for navigation and illumination to check off all the 10 essentials that I always have with me on the trail. Think of your repair kit as first aid for your gear. Mine includes transparent patches and duct tape to patch things up, like for my down jacket. If you lose your insulation, you lose your warmth, and it's a $5 fix for a $300 piece of gear.
Let's take care of this hole because we don't want it to get worse. So first thing I'm going to do is cut away this down, and I'm going to go into my patch kit here. So this is transparent and it's also waterproof. So I've even done like medical tape in the past, and honestly that held it fine. It was able to go through the washing machine. So we'll start with just having this transparent patch on, and we'll keep an eye on it as I do wash this again to make sure that it's not coming off. But easy peasy, and that extends the life of this down jacket so that the down doesn't keep escaping.
On my last trip, my Enlightened Equipment pillow had a slow leak. So if you were to do this out in the field, you would want to find a really calm pond or lake. But what we're going to do is we're going to blow this up and then submerge it in water. I'm using my sink here at home. And then ideally we will see bubbles where the air is escaping, and then we'll have to dry this out and then patch it.
Your repair kit is for getting you home, so make sure you aren't testing out a repair the next time you go out on your adventure. That's why I tested this repair at home, and now I know this piece of gear is a liability. I really wanted to save this pillow. I did the water test, I found the leaks, and attempted 3 different patches over the last week. I even emailed Enlightened Equipment support, but sometimes the materials just won't bond or there's just too many leaks. Since I can't fix this pillow, it's leaving my pack. But that's why we carry the rest of this kit, for the things that we can fix, like that down jacket tear or empty lighter.
When you buy an inflatable or air pad, it will often come with its own little patch kit, and they're a good size to just throw this into your 10 essentials, and it usually works with the gear already. So that's definitely what I've done for my kit. One thing to note about duct tape in winter, though, is that the adhesive freezes and won't stick. This could be tricky if you wrap your duct tape around your hiking pole, so I've got a flat pack, which is easy to just stash anywhere, especially in like an inner pocket where it's going to warm it back up. Another part of the repair kit is just redundancy, so that can be as simple as having a backup lighter. So when I was up at Camp Muir, my primary lighter that I have with my camp kitchen finally got used up. But fortunately, I had a backup one in my kit for 10 essentials that I was able to pull out, and then I was able to light my stove and keep going and not have a problem. And that also includes, for redundancy, is batteries. This is for my headlamp, and then I also have a larger portable battery for charging up like my Garmin or phone in order to ensure that those devices don't fail on me when I'm out on a trip. Most people think first aid is for big bleeds, but 90% of the time, it's about body maintenance. I use anti-chafe cream preemptively. If you wait until it burns, it's too late. And also nail clippers. My kit has a nice little spot for them so that they're always with me. 4 miles into a steep descent, if your nails are too long, you're in a world of pain. It might sound trivial until it's happening to you. And when I was at Mount Erie the other week, my hands were going numb, so a favorite cold hack for mine is to actually carry toe warmers because they have the sticky side on them.
It's hard to do when your fingers hurt and are stiff. Obviously, in extreme temperatures, you're going to want to have done this beforehand. You don't want to expose your hands to super duper cold. Okay, much better. And then the other thing, and the reason why I wear mittens, is keeping your fingers closer together and pulling your thumb out from the thumb hole and keeping them with all your fingers also will help keep your hands warmer. And then medication. So whether these are medications that you just need to take when you're out for a hike or backpacking trip, but this also includes ibuprofen and Tylenol. I have some extra Benadryl, and then I also have some anti-diarrheal and anti-nausea. So, if you're backpacking and you get some bad water, that could help you get through a situation so that you can get home and get to a toilet in time.
My first aid kit is pretty simple. I love that it comes with scissors. Those come in handy not just for first aid, but for other repairs, such as cutting up my patch kit as well. And then I just have blister kits, band-aids, Benadryl, and antibiotics in order to treat simple wound care. And then also in my kit are the items that I feel are crossover between both repair and first aid. So my knife, I can use that to cut up patch kit, but then I could also use it for maybe cutting off a strap or cutting clothing if I need it for additional compression, if there were a wound that needs to be addressed. And then tweezers, which actually come in my first aid kit, are great not only for, getting a splinter out or a tick, but let's just say you have a stuck zipper. It can help you grab that little bit of fabric that's stuck in there and help maneuver it out the other way. But you also have to pack a lot of patience for that one. I consider communication part of first aid, or even just the 11th essential. And I carry both a Garmin and a phone that has satellite texting so that I have that redundancy as well. This is something that I learned after my 2022 Rainier accident, not only having redundancy in my kit, but also my partner's kit actually saved our lives. And don't forget even a low-tech option of having a whistle with you. So if you're in a busier trail, but maybe you've gotten off trail, you could, blow 3 long whistles in order to get attention. Or let's say that you have had an incident where you've called for search and rescue. This can help search and rescue locate you faster as they're coming out to find you. Every time after a trip or when I'm preparing for the next trip, I also go through my 10 essentials and make sure that if I've used anything that I restock it. So for example, I used my foot warmers in my glove last week when I was up at Mount Erie because my hands were really freezing. So now I need to put those back in. That can also include batteries for my headlights, making sure that my Garmin InReach is charged, making sure that if I have used my backup lighter that it still has fuel in it. If I've used my blister kit or band-aids, that's all restocked as well. Restocking your kit isn't just about being organized. It's about having confidence that your gear will actually work when you're miles away from the trailhead. That pillow might be a goner, but the rest of my safety net is solid and ready for the next trip. Speaking of the next trip, we have one part left in this 10 Essentials series. In part 4, we're looking at navigation and illumination. I'll be showing you the digital tools I use when the trails get complex, you're crossing a boulder field, or the handrail technique when the trail disappears, plus what lights I use when it gets dark. If you've been following along, thanks for being here. Subscribe so you don't miss the final chapter. I'll see you in part 4.